Work from home? Travel every week? Go into the office? Which one is it? What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. These questions that I just shared with you guys are commonly asked in the consulting world, especially since different firms have different practices. As if that wasn't enough, with COVID, the world and the way management consultants work has also varied. From needing to travel to the client site 4 days a week, to being entirely remote, to being partially hybrid, it's tough to just keep up anymore. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing how the big firms like the MBB and Big 4 tend to operate in the COVID era and what you can potentially expect with travel as a management consultant. If you'd like to check out my other videos I made a while ago where I talk about management consultant travel schedules, be sure to check that one out after this one in the bio below. Before getting started though, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help out the channel. I've noticed that over 90% of you guys are not subscribed to this channel, so what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button to make my day and let me know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future. For the entirety of 2020 and most of 2021, many were unsure of what was going on career-wise. Many graduating college students were and still are having a tough time finding their first job out of school. There are countless hiring freezes, and work in an office or cubicle ceased to exist for a while. On top of that, many were unfortunately let go due to the financial hardship and economic downturn during that period. It's crazy that I'm mentioning this all in the past when it's all sort of kind of going on right now as well. Obviously, we still aren't past the COVID era, and there is a lot of change going on as we even speak. However, there may be a light emerging on the horizon for us to be going back to simpler times like 2019, hopefully. During this period, however, many, if not all, consulting firms immediately switched to work from home, or WFH, status indefinitely, due to the risks allotted to traveling without a vaccine to minimize the spread of the virus or its variants. Working from home came as a shock to many consultants since they thought working on the client side is necessary for their line of work. You need to be there to build relationships, ask questions, as well as that was just the norm. Like everything, the transition period from being there every day to working from home was tough. Online meetings were now inevitably the way to go, and we all know the problems technology can bring with that as well. Many were struggling at first to find their rhythm and adjust to this new way of life that many thought was going to be temporary. Or was it? After 1 month, 5 months, and now over a year of online meetings, many have adjusted to working from home. Consulting firms have noticed less burnout and turnover rates in their consultants, and their employees are still providing a similar caliber of work. So that's when consultants and partners started thinking, if we can minimize our expenses by not needing to fly out our consultants, put them up in hotels, and all the other costs that come with this, especially for the client, then why don't we just stop? And while many consulting firms have entirely stopped their travel routines, many are still wanting that experience because that's what they were used to or what they enjoyed. Therefore, there has been a shift in the type of travel management consultants are dealing with. Many consultants at the Big 4 and MBB, along with other boutique firms, are traveling at will. Depending on if you've received the vaccine, as well as if you're comfortable with traveling, then you're normally going to be allowed to begin traveling altogether. Again, this is entirely up to the firm and individual, and each case is entirely different. I know consultants that have not yet received the vaccine, yet still travel, whereas there are other consultants at firms similar to mine who have received the vaccine, but are still not permitted to travel. It's entirely up to the discretion of that firm and that individual before making these types of decisions. But even with their travel routines, it is quite different than before. Consultants aren't traveling on a weekly basis anymore. They travel either when it's required, whether that be at the beginning of a project, for informational interviews with employees at that company, to sharing deliverables or their conclusions at the end of a project. Again, this is entirely up to the firm and what they believe works best for them and their consultants. Many other firms, mainly in the Big 4 or boutique healthcare firms, practice a 2 week of travel, then 1 week off in response to just working from home. That way, consultants do find more of a balance in their work schedules and aren't constantly just on the road. Many can opt in for more or less travel, but this is dependent on them speaking to their manager and staffing team. And even beyond that, it's entirely up to the client and what they'd like as well for their consultants. If a consultant is looking for more travel, they can request to be staffed on a heavier project that requires more travel, and if a consultant is looking for less or no travel, that can also be requested if mentioned earlier on. Now, when it comes to working in the office, that's entirely up to the firm. Many firms in the MBB request or prefer their consultants to be coming into their office on Thursdays and Fridays, whereas other firms don't heavily enforce this. Keep in mind that what I'm sharing also tends to fluctuate city by city depending on the condition of COVID within that area, but also by the firm's needs as well as their employees. If you're going through the interview process, I'd highly encourage you to ask questions and see what their policy is. In fact, feel free to comment below what you've heard from other firms and share for everyone else's knowledge as well. I'm curious to know what their policy is. Travel and its requirements do change often, but I do hope you found this video helpful. And like I mentioned, if you are going through the interview process, then feel free to check out my interview series, which I will link down in the bio below. With that being said, if you enjoyed what I shared, then be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help out the channel. I upload videos regularly on Wednesdays, so be sure to subscribe to not miss out. If you're looking for more one-on-one guidance when it comes to your consulting endeavors, whether that be the interview or cover letter preparation, to even mock interviews, then be sure to visit my website, ryanrafi.com, and use the promo codes in my bio below for my products and services. As always, thanks. Until next time.